Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about specifically my thank you to Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast for creating the Ravnica setting book. All right, so why am I thanking Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast for making the Ravnica setting book? So this week I filled my whole channel with a lot of discontent about Ravnica and Eberron being chosen as the new settings for Dungeons & Dragons. I really wanted Planescape, Dark Sun, Forgotten Realms, Calamar, Greyhawk, Ravenloft, just a whole host of other settings to be chosen for Dungeons & Dragons, right? And that didn't happen. In fact, Ravnica was anointed by Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro and got a hardcover book. And by the way, that's something we know now too. That is honor from Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro for Dungeons & Dragons product. Digital content is dishonor, in my opinion. All right. So Ravnica got anointed, and I was really discontent with this, and I just filled my whole channel with discontent over Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro's decision to make Ravnica the new setting, rather than all those other awesome existing settings that hundreds of thousands of players had asked for. But here's why I'm saying thank you very much. I'm saying thank you to Mike Merles from the lead of the design team. I'm saying thank you to Wizards of the Coast, and thank you very much, Hasbro, for making Ravnica the new setting book. And the reason why is you're continuing to build content for the game that I love. Dungeons & Dragons is incredibly precious for me, and each one of you has carried this game for years, has cared for it, and made it prosper. It's doing great today. It's healthy. And what I want to, so I would say very genuinely, thank you for making the Ravnica book. It's not the book I would have chosen, but it's a book. It's going to be in full color. It's going to have amazing art. It's going to have great writing, and I don't take those things for granted. And it's going to progress Dungeons & Dragons further. It's going to make it a healthier game. I actually think from a business perspective, it's a wise decision. Right? So I'm saying thank you. And this is for a whole lot of reasons that I'm just going to list them off. So one, I'm very careful to watch and limit the amount of negative content that goes on my YouTube channel. I'm very thankful to YouTube for allowing me to have this amazing platform, and for all the other awesome creators that are out here. And we need to make sure that we're filling YouTube with everything we care about, the good and the bad, right? And what we're passionate about, and what we love, and what is precious, and what brings us joy. And at the end of the day, while this was a hard week, Dungeons & Dragons brings me joy every week, including this week, all right? The joy was less this week than other weeks, but it still brought me joy. And I really want to say thank you to Wizards of the Coast, and thank you to Hasbro for making Ravnica, all right? I also just really think it's important that that's another thing is, I really believe the reason that Ravnica and Eberron were chosen was because of the fall of Toys R Us. Literally last month. Okay, actually, I think they closed doors this month, right? And so I understand this is a hardship for Hasbro. Hasbro is a toys company, and the last remaining national toy chain just closed their doors. Right? That's big. That's really big. That's going to harm Hasbro. To some extent. It could be 1% of their business, it could be 10% of their business. I think they're wise, and I think they're positioned to deal with it well, but they're in a hard time right now, right? And Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro has problems right now. And this is one thing that I want to be. I want to be the kind of person who, basically, let me explain. Ravnica and Eberron were mistakes of a friend. They were not injustices done to me by some rando. They were mistakes of a friend. And I want to be there. Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, I consider them my friends, right? And this is a downtime for them, right? And what I want to be for my friends is the kind of friend who's there for you when you're flush and you have everything you need and the world's shining on you. And I want to be there for my friends when the world isn't shining for you, when you're having a hard day, where it looks darker than it has looked for a while, where you don't have all the shine that you used to have, right? And right now, it's a challenging time for Hasbro, and I want to show my support. So with that said, with everything I've said this week, I humbly say thank you to Wizards of the Coast for another Dungeons & Dragons book, for continuing to carry this brand forward, to continue to carry this game forward. I really appreciate it, and I am pledging now I will buy Ravnica myself, okay? And the reason why is I don't buy source books. I need another source book like I need a hole in the head, but I'm absolutely buying Ravnica. And the reason why is it's a big, bold swing on the part of Hasbro. They're trying something different. They're creating a synergy with one of their other brands. And I think they're doing this because they need people to come to them. They need a flow of cash in there. I have cash. I'm blessed, right? And one of the reasons why I'm blessed, right, is Magic the Gathering. I work in the information technology, right? And I am very blessed to have a very nice, very blessed to have a great position, right? And one of the reasons why I have that position is I have a ridiculous tolerance for complexity, right? Where did I get that ridiculous tolerance for complexity? Magic the Gathering, which I've played since 1993. And I'll tell you, no matter how complicated it gets, no matter how many teams we have to test products with globally, no matter how many forks in code there are, it's nothing compared to seeing 300 new cards drop every 3 months and being ready to face your opponent. Magic the Gathering gives you a ridiculously high tolerance for complexity, and I really like the game, and I like Magic the Gathering. I've played it since the very beginning of 1993. I like Dungeons & Dragons. I've played it since 1982, and the reality is, at the end of this week, I look back, and with all the discontent I had over Ravnica's choice, I realize Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro have brought me a ton of joy, and I want to be there for them when there's a time where there's a bump in the road for them. And that's what the Toys R Us shutdown is. It's a bump in the road. And I'm pledging my support. I am down for D&D. I will buy every edition of Dungeons & Dragons until they put me into a pine box, right? And that's just the way it is. I love this game. And while sometimes there are decisions that happen that I'm not super happy about, I'm still going to keep moving forward and take the good with the bad. Thank you very much, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, for the Ravnica book. Take care.